You said patience? All right, I'm with it. Good shit. All right, so let's rock and roll. My name is Mike. My action word is the same every single day. That is transparency. Reason being, secrets are like anchors on a boat. What does an anchor do for the boat? Keeps it in place. The secrets that I'm talking about today, your thoughts, your feelings, and what you're going through. You keep your thoughts a secret, they're going to destroy you. You keep your feelings a secret, they're going to consume you. And if you keep what you're going through a secret, how are we going to get help, right? So, what we're going to talk about today is let it go, or is it let it be? Letting go is something that we're told we need to do, right? So some life lessons. Letting go does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop trying to force others to care. Letting go doesn't mean that we stop caring. Letting go means we stop trying to get other people to care. Second one. Where am I at? Abundance is a process of letting go. That which empty can receive. Which empty can receive. If we're holding on to something, because that's what it is. If we're not letting go, that means we're holding on to something. Right? Why are you holding on to it? Have you ever asked yourself that question? A lot of times we say, oh, I can't let this go. It fucked me up. Cool, I agree. So what are you holding on to then? What are you holding on to? Does anybody want to answer that question? Or does somebody want to share something they're having a hard time letting go of? It might be something somebody did or something like that. We might be holding on to the resentment. We might be holding on to a grudge. We might be holding on to taking it personally. You're holding on to something if you can't let go. So where's the strength?
Letting go.
The strength is in letting go, but it also takes strength to hold on to something.
Don't drink poison and expect it to kill others.
There you go. I used to do that all the time. I'm going to drink the poison and hope it kills you. I'm going to fuck my life up because you're going to be miserable knowing I'm in jail sick. And you're going to be so upset with yourself that I'm in jail sick right now. You're going to blame yourself for why I'm here. In order for us to receive abundance, we're going to first have to empty ourselves out. We're going to have to empty ourselves out. Let it go or let it be. Right? There was one other one, but I can't find it. Anyway. All right. So, I'm going to say 3 words right now. And I want you to just tell me which one sticks out, right? Wait, spelled that shit totally wrong. Don't worry about it. Emotional, painful, experience. Which word sticks out? Painful. All right, what else? Who else? Experience, good. Anyone else? Emotional, good. The reason I'm asking these 3 questions is because whatever word stuck out to you, that's probably what you're holding on to from your past right now, that you can't let go of. So for me, it was emotional. I was holding on to emotions from the past. So in order for me to let go, I had to change my experiences with what happened. How do you think we could change our experience to something that's already happened? So something happened and we had an experience with it. Trauma, traumatic event, traumatic response. We live with the traumatic response. We're not living with the event.
Respond differently.
Respond differently, good.
Think differently.
Think differently, good. Got to change the conversation. We have to, so perspective is like this, right? Because your word was perspective. Let's say I'm looking out my finger like this. I can only see right here. But if I start opening my fingers, I can now see the whole room. That's perspective. Perspective, a lot of times we're seeing things just through these little 2 fingers. But then if I start opening it up, I get to start to see the whole broad thing of everything.
That reminds me of my son's daughter. I mean, my buddy's daughter, man. His mom, Christiane, whooped her or something. She was little, and she looked like this.
Regine?
Leah. What are you doing? She said, crush it.
So whatever word you chose, you might be holding on to the experience. So how do we change the experience? You got to now go back to whatever happened and look at your life. Hear me for a second. Look at your life and the choices you made after that. Look at all the choices we made because something happened to us. Something happened to us and we started making bad choices.
What if something happened and you started making good choices?
Then we're gonna. That means you're letting go of something.
Progressing.
If you're doing that, I'm gonna get into that. But that's how you know you're starting to let go. Because I have actions. You guys know me. I'm not just someone that's gonna give you an ideology of something. I have actions that let me show that I'm letting go, right? And how I'm working through it. But that means you're starting to let go of it, which is good. That's healthy, right? So emotional, painful experience, whatever that word that stuck out for you could be what you're holding on to, right? So it's a good step, right? Holding on to the past can be a conscious decision, just like letting go and moving forward can be a conscious decision. So that word conscious decision, what does that sound like? If I'm conscious, what does that mean?
Aware.
I'm aware. It means I'm awake. If I'm unconscious and I got knocked the fuck out, what's going on in my life? I'm sleeping. Right? So, conscious decision. What it's saying is that holding on to the past is a conscious decision. Means I'm aware of what I'm doing. A conscious decision is like if I go out and use right now, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. For me, that's a conscious decision. Why? Because I know what the disadvantage and the advantages is. Conscious means we know both. So me going to go pick up in a bad neighborhood is a fucking conscious decision. Because I know I could get locked up. So what we're saying here is holding on to the past is a conscious decision. Meaning we know it's fucking us up, but we're making the choice anyway. We need to know that. I don't know how many, I didn't know that. Once I knew that, it changed my perspective on what I need to start getting done. Because if I don't feel like I'm making a choice to do something, how am I going to choose to not do it? If you don't feel that your choices is you making them, a distraction might come in and fuck it up a little bit. But in reality, we're still making the choice. If we release the power that we're not choosing this life, how are you going to gain the power to choose to live a better life? Because God gave you the power of choice. That's how true it is. God gave you the power of choice. You get to choose on how you want to live today. No matter what happened yesterday, when an elephant wakes up, it's a fucking elephant. Every day it wakes up. When you wake up, you get to choose who you want to be today. You don't have to wake up the fucking elephant every day just because you were an elephant yesterday. You could wake up and be a fucking lion today. God gave you that choice. So what are you choosing to be today? Where are your choices going to lead you today? Because you have the power of choice. So me holding on to the past is a conscious decision. So therefore I know it's not doing anything good for me. So why do you think I'm choosing it? So I could play the fucking victim. So I could do the self-pity shit. So I could justify my actions and manipulate myself into thinking I'm not strong enough to stop. So if I can manipulate myself into thinking I'm not strong enough to do this, I'm okay when I fuck up. I justify it. Because I don't think it's a choice. It's always a choice. You always have a choice. Once you think you don't have a choice, you make the bad fucking choice. Because you don't think you have the power to make a better choice. It's a conscious decision. You know holding this grudge on someone or this resentment towards someone is fucking you up. You know it, but we choose it anyway. That's where we have to start talking to ourselves. Why do we keep choosing to have this resentment towards someone? Why do we keep choosing to have this grudge? Why do we keep choosing to give up on ourselves? Why do we keep choosing to think we're not worthy? We're choosing it. We might feel like it's a prescription, though. You might feel like your beliefs have been prescribed to you, which I believe they are. I believe our beliefs have been prescribed to us by whoever raised us, the people that we've been around. In order to change your beliefs, you got to change the people you're around. When I was in treatment, I didn't sit with the crew that was doing the war stories. I didn't sit with the crew that was doing the shit behind the scenes that nobody knew about. I didn't chill with that crew. I used to be the guy that ran that crew.
Right.
Just saying. And why I ran it? Because I just wasn't ready. This was a fucking joke. Treatment was a fucking joke. Staff was a fucking joke. The system was a fucking joke. But guess who really was the fucking joke? I was the fucking joke. I'm tired of being the fucking joke. Everything's fucking funny until shit hits the fucking fan. Then it ain't funny no more. Then it's everyone else's fucking fault, and now I can't do it. I don't do that to myself no more. So holding on to the past can be a conscious decision, just like letting go and moving forward can be a conscious decision. So if letting go and moving forward is a conscious decision, why would we need to let go and move on? What's the benefit from it? Grow? What would be the benefit of being able to move on from something and let it go?
Put that shit behind you.
Put it behind you?
Move forward.
Move forward? What's the disadvantage of holding on to something from the past?
Stay stuck.
You stay stuck.
Make you miserable.
Make you miserable. Your past becomes your present.
Believe you can't do it.
And then your past becomes your future. Once you allow your past to be your present, you just made your past your future, because your future is based on what you do in the present. We want a better future. Just start making today better. Stop trying to change the past. Use the past, not change it. Utilize it. If I'm utilizing somebody, right, I'm using them for their skills to help me, so they're helping themselves at the same time they're helping me. When I'm using somebody, I'm only taking your skills for my benefit. I'm not trying to help your skills get better by why you're helping me and how you're helping me.
Wait. Oh, so you're saying only do it for yourself.
Utilizing is when you have someone help you, but them helping you is also going to be helping them. Using somebody, I'm only using you to help me. I'm not doing nothing for you in return. We want to utilize each other. Utilize each other. Not use each other. Utilize each other. We're very good at using people. We know how to get someone to do something for our benefit.
Yeah, but it doesn't make you feel good. Like,
No, but utilizing someone, yes, utilizing someone, you're growing with them. So when the Bible says iron sharpens iron, there's a reason why iron sharpens iron. So you need iron in your life. So who is your iron? Who is the crew that you're hanging out with? What are the conversations you're having about the future? What do the conversations about the past look like?
Short.
I'll help anybody. I don't fucking rock with everybody, though. I will help anybody. I do not fucking rock with everybody, though. You gotta be very careful who you let inside your circle. You gotta be very careful on who you let on your walk of life. Not everyone's meant to be on this walk with you, and there's gonna be some people in your life right now that will not be on this walk with you. What are you gonna do then? People grow at different rates. I've seen a lot of couples come in treatment, want to get clean together. One got clean, the other one wasn't ready, and it didn't work out. Or one wanted to get clean, the other one didn't, and the other one was able to bring the other one back out for a guilt trip or something like that. How important is this for you? How important is your life, or is your life still determined on how those around you see you?
If you want to be happy, you don't have the expectation for anyone else.
There you go. So, Some tips, right? What separates people is how we deal with our pain. That's what's separating us. Everyone has it. What separates us is how we deal with it. Not everyone picks up drugs and alcohol to deal with their pain. Some people do other things. But everyone's dealing with pain. It's universal language. I would like it to be love, but we live in a fallen world, and love will never really be a universal language because some people's conception of love is just misconstrued because of how they were brought up. If they even think it exists. But everyone knows pain exists. And I don't care what language you speak. If you're in pain and you don't speak the language I speak, I'm going to know you're in pain. Right? So, one of the best ways to heal from hurt is to learn lessons. One of the best ways to heal from hurt is to learn lessons. Why do you think learning a lesson will help us heal from hurt?
From the pain.
If I'm learning a lesson, yes. How could this help us heal? Remember the definition of heal. To become sound and healthy again. Right? So learning lessons, how does that help me heal?
Discern what not to do for the future.
Yes, good. If I learn a lesson from something, that means I probably won't do it again. If I learn a lesson from pain, there's a good opportunity that I'm able to do something about it where it goes away and it doesn't come back. If we're not learning lessons, we're not seeing value. There's a difference between life and school. School, you get the lesson and then the test. I got to study the lesson to pass the test. Life's the other way around. First you get the test, then you get the lesson. Learn the lesson, pass the test. Look how beautiful God is. We're not being graded on the test. We're being graded on the lesson that we're supposed to learn from the test. So you got to understand when you're being tempted, that is not God. Do not put God into your temptations. God tests. He does not tempt. So when you're feeling temptation, according to the Bible, not me, according to the Bible, we could only be tempted when we're not close enough to God. So if you have temptation in your life, it means you're not close enough to God. So you need to take that temptation to God. We succumb to the temptation, and then we blame God for tempting us. God does not tempt. The devil tempts. Did you read one story in the Bible where Jesus tempted somebody? So when you're being tempted, that is not God. You need to go to God. So this is how I see it. You guys know I'm very different. I'm also a new believer, so I'm a little bit different in how I say things, right? The devil is doing God's work without him even knowing. I believe God allows the temptation. God is allowing the devil to do his thing. God allows the temptation to show the devil why he loves us so much. He's given us an opportunity to take that temptation and bring it to him. So if I take the temptation and I bring it to God, what do you think that's going to do in my relationship with God and me?
Strengthen it.
So then maybe the test was to see what we're going to do with the temptation. Not the temptation itself. Maybe the test is what we do with it, not why it's happening. So this is why I've been very big lately on this term. How could you use what you're going through to get you where you want to go, rather than what you're going through preventing you from where you want to go? It's a total different mindset. Just like let it go or let it be. What do you got?
I was going through that not too long ago. I took a bike ride to finally come to it where I was I brought that temptation. I finally was able to bring it to God and be like, you know what, I'm going through temptation right now. Like what can you help me out with it? You know what I mean? And the only thing I got out of it was you already know the outcome of it. You know what I mean?
There you go.
That's all I got out of it. Like, you know the outcome of it. Like, just plain simple. Like, you already know what the fuck's gonna happen. Why you ask me?
Yeah.
You know?
And that's why learning lessons. When we learn the lesson, then we'll get the blessing out of it. But I have to learn lessons at times before the blessing's going to come in, right? So I want to run through real quick. I'm going to give you guys actions that you could take that will help you start to let it be rather than think you got to let it go. All right? Some actions. One, you're getting better at naming your feelings. Why do you think that shows that we're letting it be rather than let it go? Because if I'm letting it go, I don't think I want to talk about this. To me, letting it go is me not even recognizing it. I let it go. It's not a problem no more. That's it. Letting it be means I'm giving it its opportunity to exist. Letting something be, I'm giving an opportunity to it exist. Let it go. I'm trying to remove it that it even existed. I can't do that. I can't forget something that I fucking know. You can't forget how to ride a bike. Once you know how to ride that bike, you can't unlearn how to ride that bike. You can learn how to ride the bike better, but you can't unlearn how to ride the bike. A lot of times I was trying to unlearn shit. No, I need to learn how to be better at it. So I need to learn how to let things be. It is what it is. Rather than needing to let it go. This seems like way more work than this. I don't know about you guys. Letting it be, I'm giving it its opportunity to exist. If you're trying to remove things out of the existence of your life, you're trying to control something you can't. That's why whatever it is that we think we need to let go is so profound in our lives, right? So, you're getting better at naming your feelings. 2, you don't automatically blame yourself. If you find yourself blaming yourself for every little thing that goes wrong, you're probably holding on to something from your past. If you're blaming yourself, you might have grew up in a household where your parents blamed you for everything when you didn't do anything wrong. So instead of letting go of the experience, allow the experience to be. Yes, they made us feel that way. Yes, all of this is true, but we're adults now. And something has to change. So we have to stop blaming ourselves. When you stop blaming yourself, that means you're starting to let go of how you were treated as a child. You're starting to give yourself the opportunity to let it be. I'm not going to allow anyone, I'm not going to give the excuse for why people do things. I just know when people are acting a certain way, there's a reason for it. If the reason doesn't have to be something we agree with, but something's going on in that person's life to make them do that. I was raised with somewhat of a heavy hand. My father was raised with a heavy hand. His father was raised with a heavy hand. And so on and so forth. Is it right? No. But that's what it is. I needed to let it be. I needed to let it be. Because if you're not letting things be, that means you're holding on to things. Right? You don't automatically second guess. We did that one. That's another one. If we're second guessing, what do you think we're holding on to if we're second guessing ourselves? Past what? Experiences, past failures. Past failures is making me second guess myself because I'm holding on to the failure as definition of character. Rather, letting the failure, let it be, learn lessons. Remember we spoke about a little bit earlier. Learning lessons will help us be able to move on. Learn lessons on why maybe I failed to get better and I won't second guess myself. So if you're second guessing yourself, there's probably something that you're holding on to that you haven't let go. If you can learn how to let things be, maybe you'll stop second guessing yourself. Because if you're second guessing yourself, you're not walking into things with confidence. And I don't know about you, whenever I walked into Walmart or whatever, and I was confident I was walking out with shit, I walked out with shit. It was the days I wasn't really confident that I got caught for fucking stealing. Just letting you know right now. When I'm confident, I can walk into anything. We get anything done, good, bad, or indifferent, if you're confident in it.
That's right.
So, this is where it really changes. These are the two things that's very important, and good, we have enough time. All right. These are the big ones, right? If you really want to let go, if you really want to move on, if you really want to let it be, you have to, one, use whatever we've been through, our trauma, whatever, right, to help others. You got to find out whatever you've been through, how it can help somebody today. If you don't find what you're going through right now, if you can't find a way for what you're going through to help somebody today, you're going to hold on to it. You're not going to let it go. If you can find a way of what you're going through to help somebody today, you will let it be and you will see value in it. You have to be able to see value in why you went through what you went through. It's going to be difficult if you're not sharing it. Pain is not meant to be kept to ourselves. We're not meant to be selfish with our pain. We're meant to share it, right? So when you use your trauma to help others, and when you use it to, he said, he's gone, inspire yourself into healthy action. Inspire, my spelling sucks today. Inspire into healthy action. So question, when something comes today that reminds you of your past, is it making you want to do different? Is it making you want to be better? Or is it making you feel like you can't change and making you feel stuck and making us act the way we used to? Because if it's making us act the way we used to, we're holding on to it. We're holding on to it. If it's making us want to do better, we're letting it be. We're letting it be. We're letting it have its space. But now, how do I use this to get me to where I want to go, rather than how am I going to keep allowing this to stop me?
The only person or thing that can revert me back like that to my old ways of negativity is my mom.
Okay.
Probably. And I'm trying to still find a way to so, I mean, I've obviously gotten a lot better at channeling what she says and not taking in all the bad shit, but it just destroyed my life before. So it was a big part of why I started using it, which is my conflicts with her. So I'm trying to be open and honest and not sugarcoat anything in a argument. I'm not trying to hide my feelings, but I'm also, which I did for a while in my sobriety because I didn't want to argue with her and I wanted to get close with her. But now I'm trying to be real, but I'm trying to be myself, but I'm also trying to,
God bless you.
I also want her to, like who I am.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously she's going to love me, but, most of my life she didn't like who I was.
Okay.
And
Right.
I don't know if she does now either. But.
Yeah. And only time tells, right? So I want to show you how important these two things are. When we take our trauma and we allow our trauma to help other people, and then when trauma or whatever we can't let go of comes in the present moment and it makes us want to act better, do you understand that these two things make us now take ownership of our story?
Oh, for sure.
Makes us take ownership of our story. I'm taking ownership of it, meaning that now I'm allowing things that used to hold me back, that I couldn't let go, be what now pushes me forward. So now I took ownership of it. For a long time, I didn't have ownership of my story. What had ownership of my story? My active addiction. My active addiction is what had ownership over my story. Why? Because I was allowing my active addiction to be definition of who I am as a person. Once I took active addiction and just made it an explanation of who I am as a person when I'm a certain way. Once I was able to get that to change from definition to explanation, I now take ownership. Because look, I'm making my life better when I do that. When I'm sharing what I've been through, I'm making my life better because I'm helping somebody. And now I'm making better action. So guess what? I just changed the experience of my trauma by making it make me do better than worse. So now when I think of my trauma, it doesn't have the same look. I actually changed it. You could change your past only in the sense of your experiences. As far as your experience with what happened. You can't change actually what happened. The time, the date, none of that could change. It's done. But we could change our experience with what happened. How do we change our experience? When we start using our trauma to help other people. And when we start using our trauma to inspire us into healthy action, like you were saying. You're taking ownership of your story. I am no longer defined by my addiction. When I do this, I am now defined by the testimony of my recovery. My identity is now in my recovery. My identity is no longer in my addiction. That's why you don't hear me identify as an addict. I'm not an addict today. If I go pick up, yeah, I'm an addict. But until I pick up, I'm not an addict.
I think we talked about this. So when you go to NA and you share, what do you say?
When I go to NA or AA, I respect the rules of that place and I identify as one, but you won't find me in one because I won't identify as one.
That's why I had, you know what I'm saying, like some issues with some friends.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I kind of backed away from it because my recovery is mine.
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, I'm just, thou speakest, thou is.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to keep on standing up every time I want to say something out. My name is Billy. I'm not an addict. I was. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
Keep on saying that.
I'm with you. In the Bible, Jesus paid the Caesar's tax. So that's what makes me what I'm going to say. In the Bible, Jesus paid the Caesar's tax. He was Jesus. He didn't have to, but he did it anyway, just not to rock the boat yet,
He
right?
said, who's on this coin? He said, so he giving it back to him.
Yes. So when I'm in an NA or AA thing and I'm invited or something and I'm sitting in that seat, hi, my name is Mike. I'm a child of God who used to be an addict. That's not good enough, then I'll get up and leave. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I got up and left High Hall.
There you go.
Because they wouldn't let me see addict. I said, well, it looks like I'm in the wrong goddamn place.
And that's it. And that's all it is.
Identify as alcoholic.
Yeah.
I'm a damn alcoholic.
You got to be careful. You got to be careful how you identify. You know, if you identify yourself as a bad mother and a bad father, that's what you're walking in as a person today. You got to be careful how you identify yourself. Because the label, death and life is in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat the fruit therefore of it, right? For me personally, remember, you guys know I never opened up the books of NA or AA, so I have a very different view on things. Me personally, because I believe in Jesus Christ, I don't identify as an addict because he ain't getting his glory if I am. New wine doesn't fit in old wine skins. When Jesus healed the blind man, what did the blind man say? Once I was blind and now I could... He didn't say once I was blind and I'm still blind. So Jesus performs a miracle. The man says he could see. They called him the blind man who now sees, the leopard. Didn't go walking around, hi, I'm a leopard. No, it's the one that used to be the leopard that Jesus healed. I'm the addict that Jesus healed. I'm not an addict today. That's not arrogance. It's not cockiness. I'm not saying that thinking I could just fucking do one. I'm saying it because I'm claiming a new creation. Maybe some of us, my opinion only, I believe that some of us ain't fully in recovery and working it because you haven't accepted you're in recovery yet because you might still be identifying as the person you used to be. Denial and active addiction. I'm not admitting I have a drug problem when I fucking have one. That denial allows me to stay in active addiction for a long time. Check this out. Maybe when I'm identifying as an addict in recovery, I'm in denial that I'm in recovery.
Right.
Just saying.
Right.
Work what works for you. Do whatever you need to do. Only because of my faith in Jesus Christ, I refuse to identify as an addict. That's it. Not any other reason. It works. We need to do it. Work it, count your days, all of it. Whatever's working for you, work it. Recovery is an individualized journey, and we should support everyone. You want to identify as an addict? Cool, I'm with you. I'm supporting you in it. I just don't have to do what you're doing in order to support you in what you're doing.
Right.
Recovery shouldn't be a dictatorship. It should be a support system. We should want to support however you want to do it.
Not doing what you doing, or you not doing what they doing, you shouldn't turn your back on them.
No.
As long as you staying clean, I don't give a fuck how you do it. As long as you ain't out hurting nobody and no shit like that, you know what I'm saying? You staying clean, you know what I'm saying? Man, more power to you.
A like-minded person to me is not someone who agrees with my views.
Right.
A like-minded person to me is someone who's striving for the same thing I'm striving for.
You might do it a different way.
If you're looking to better yourself and be a better person for yourself and people, you are like-minded in my opinion. How you go about doing it doesn't matter to me. I want to be around the energy of somebody trying to get better. That's it. I want to be around that energy. I don't want to be around the energy of somebody complaining and not trying to better themselves. So you could be falling every day, still getting high. I don't give a fuck. You could still be getting high. But if you're showing progression and you're showing that you really want to get it, but right now you're just not getting it just yet, but you're fighting, I'm rocking with you. You could be 20 years clean and be a fucking dickhead. I ain't rocking with you.
Right.
I'll rock with the person with the needle in the arm that keeps getting up and apologizing and sorry and is really trying but just having a difficult time. I will rock with that person before I will rock with the person with 20 years that ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing as far as recovery goes. When we do these two things, we take ownership of our story. Our trauma no longer defines us. We are defining what the trauma is doing in our lives. So to wrap this all up, how could you use what you've been through to get you where you want to go? How could you use what you're going through to get you where you want to go? Rather than allowing your past to prevent you from where you want to go, and rather than allow the problem that you have today prevent you from finding a solution tomorrow. How are you going to use it? You got to find a way to use it. One way or another. It's not let it go, it's let it be. Let it be. The fucking past happened. You fucked up. You did some fucked up shit. So did I. Who gives a fuck? He without sin cast the first stone. We all fall short of the glory of God. No, not righteous, no, not one. If God is telling me that this is who I am and this is what it is, why am I getting so beat up and caught up and not giving myself grace for what I've been through? Because I don't have more of his love today. I got the same love. Same love. You can't earn more of his love by what you do. You're not saved by your works. You're saved by his grace. We only get to do the work because of his grace. So to make it think that I'm really the man and I'm the one making all this happen, I better check myself whenever I start thinking that. Because God will show me. In Job it says, the Lord give it, the Lord take it. I ain't trying to rock this boat. I like my life. So I'm going to stay obedient. Obedient in the sense of trying to follow as much as I possibly can. Understanding that it's his power that allows me to live this way. Not that I need to be afraid of his power. I need to be afraid of living without that power. That is the fear of God for me. The fear of God is life without him today. Not his power on what he's going to do to me. So how are you going to let it be today rather than think you need to let it go? Because this is going to fuck with your pride and your ego. Thinking that you got to let go of something. If you were a kid from the street or somebody from the street, what the fuck you mean let it go? No, that's eye for eye, motherfucker. The fuck you mean let it go? You don't get to say some shit like that to me and me just let it go. No, let it be. Let the motherfucker that said you couldn't do it watch his success and just do it in silence and watch what it does to them. Let it be. You don't have to let it go. It happened. Let it be. How do we now learn lessons from it? How do we now get better at naming our feelings from it? How do we stop automatically blaming ourselves and second guessing ourselves? If you stop doing these things and you start doing these two, I'm telling you right now, you will learn how to let it be, and it is what it is. My life is all about it is what it is. I let it be. Because if you're not letting it be, you might be trying to control it to make it something different. Let it be, get something out of it, and move on. Letting go is not letting go is not that we stop caring. Letting go is that we stop trying to get other people to care. Because if you're holding on to something, you probably might be waiting for a sorry, or you need something in order to move on from it. You might not get it. You need to understand. Prepare yourself to say sorry to people and then say, all right, go fuck yourself. Are you going to let that be? Are you going to be able to let that be? Or are you going to hold on to it and not let it go? If we can get better at just letting things be, we'll be able to move forward in life a lot easier. Think about it. What's stopping you right now? There's something preventing you from doing something. So whatever's preventing you, what if God put that in your life to get you to where you want to go, but the enemy is making you think that it's an obstacle and it's a block? We've got to start utilizing these things. Where are we at? Any questions? Anything of the sort? Everybody's good? All right, fuck you. Thank you guys. Love you. Everybody signed? No, if you didn't sign, just come up here. Signature, I need your PIN number and your social security number.
China already hacked the U.S. government for that.
All of our